Hey, Decathlon gamer, welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 58. Late season. Down to those last minor races, but we've got a couple World Tour races that we've managed to get on the calendar. We have only had one all season. Important timing. The breakaway of 8 has actually opened the gap a little bit. We were to just inside 2 minutes. They've pushed it back out to 3. And then, over the last little climb, 5 riders got off the front. But there is a pursuit. We've got to keep an eye on that because it, at the moment, looks like it's going out. Both the breakaway and the recent attack are both going out away from us a little bit. And we certainly don't like that. We may have to be involved in a chase here in these last 36K. This race, Trofeo Sabatini, is a straightforward one with your finish line right there, as once again we're seeing a little attack on the climb, just like we saw last time, and those riders trying to go away. Now we are coming back at the front riders a little bit. We've gained about 15 to 20 seconds on them, and we also just have those 5 guys still off the front, and we're looking at just 35 in the peloton for now. This time it split over the top. It had split the previous time and ultimately came back together because there just wasn't enough push in the group. And we might have to get involved here sooner rather than later. But for now, it's still 30K. It's a lot of ground to cover. And the group is splitting, and we are starting to come back at it a little bit. One rider has left the other 4 behind. That's good for us. They are not cooperating. Peloton currently now at 53 as one group made contact. There's another 65 that are close, and 82 is not going to cut it. We need to step this up for the next climb. 25K. We might take control here fairly soon. The break is slowly coming back. It's down to 209. Another big acceleration here, but not a split. Or is there? Oh, there is a split. There's enough guys pushing. This gap will bridge. There you go. It's back together. And we caught those front 5. So we're at 53 momentarily in the peloton. 20 were just dropped, lost contact. 8 left off the front and a minute 20. And we're seeing attack go. 16K. You know what? We need to respond. This time, that's a lot of riders that are about to break contact ahead of Ciccone here. I don't think we're going to see them again if we don't respond. So, time to respond. Everybody's looking fairly good. Benny Messias and Matoni are going to go first for us. Alright, I weighed a lot of options in the choices I made, and sure enough, that thing did split. And that was 14 riders with Williams that went away. So good thing that I responded and responded quickly. Otherwise, that gap would have been a lot bigger than it is at a handful of bike links. And Ballerini pulling that back, and there you go. We're back in contact. But we responded first. Another team also responded with us, and that helped. Benny Messias, Matoni. This is just the lead up. We want to make sure we don't get dropped here. Benny Messias does not have any red bar left, but we don't need to destroy our team. We just need to make sure that there's not a bunch of riders going away from us. And there is a bit of a gap there. Benny Messias, we're going to drop him down. Matoni taking over. And, ooh, we've split the field. We've split the field. There are just 13 in this group now. Chasing 9, chasing 1. And then what's left of the breakaway, which is now just 41 seconds. Matoni is done. Matoni is done. Bitsimana, your turn. 9K. Just an 18-rider peloton. We've caught those guys. And now there's the 8 left off the front, and there they are. 96. We're going to get control to catch those guys and set this up. 4 riders make contact, but probably pretty tired from the effort. And I've got 5 guys out of 30 in contention. But these front 8, they're not going to be in contention. Not really. 5.5. Shimway is going to take over here in a moment. Definitely don't want to wait to the climb to go, but Bitsimana can push on for now. Now we're down to 22 left in contact. Others have been dropped. Shimway take over. Matoni was dropped. Benny Messias is fading. 21 chasing 1. That 1 Williams is not going to hang on. He's done this twice. We've seen him riding solo twice. There's no way he's got enough. Okay, here we go. 1.4. Dang, that happened a little faster. I thought we were at 5. 1.1. Sprinting. That's it for Oshimwe. De Villiers, Arab, Samuels. We got 3 guys to go max effort on the way towards the finish line. De Villiers gets a good run. How is Williams hanging on? You got to be kidding me. There's like, he's got 0 firepower, but he's going to win? He's going to win over Arab, over Samuels? I don't understand. I do not understand how he had any firepower left. Arab's going to get second. Williams wins. No idea how that happens. Arab does get second. It's a good result. Samuels gets 4th. Almeida 5th. De Villiers gets 6th. Oshimwe 9th. We weren't even on the list of favorites at all. Bitsimana 12th to go with it. Lots of points for that result. Shocking that Stephen Williams hangs on and gets the win. We saw him riding solo multiple times out there. He did not look fresh at all. Shoulders were bobbing pretty bad. No idea how he maintained the pace that he maintained on that climb and didn't slow drastically when he hit the climb. Absolutely stunned by that. But he hangs on, gets the win, and then we win the sprint. we won the race without winning the race. It's okay. Great result over. It would have been nice if we had managed to win that one. It's 200 points for the win, and that's certainly a lot. But with a 2.46.9.12, not counting anything we may have had lower down, as there's 3 points, 5 points for getting even minor placings, but 385 points for those riders inside the top 12. So no, it's not a victory, and a victory is certainly worth more. And a victory comes with that small chance that a nation like Morocco, where Arabs from, could have maybe 1% chance that that's going to add to the popularity of Morocco. And we certainly need that, right? The long-term goal, that is the long-term goal. So it would have been nice to get the win. But all things considered, the 385 is a lot more. I mean, it's almost double what we got or would have gotten if we had just had a single rider at the front and take the win and then nothing else. Last Grand Tour, last big scoring opportunity for other teams. Though I suppose we do have one monument later in the year, Il Lombardia, but Gegenhardt, Evenepoel, Miklic have just taken the top 3 on whatever stage we're on right now of La Vuelta. I'd say it's probably about half done or better. And right now it's Miklic who leads from Roglic and Pellizzari. So a couple no-names, young guys getting their shot against the old guard. And so far, getting the better of them. But there's plenty of race still to go. We do have 2 riders that are leaving us that have signed contracts with others. And that's part of the ability to let someone go after they've gotten good and really are just about to their ceiling, is that they're young enough and good enough to go contribute on other teams. Developing them into that point is the only way they're going to get on those teams. So it's a good way to have more than just our handful of riders out there. I'd love to have Benyam Girmay on our team, but he's on a World Tour team and doing well and scoring lots of points, and so it's okay that we aren't able to sign him because he can still impact things and has. He alone has picked up 2 points for Eritrea. And we've got 1 point for South Africa, and that's it. There's 3 points total. We've got a long ways to go, and that path to World Tour next season is where we can really start pushing those lower ranked nations. I think that percentage of chance of gaining popularity, of gaining training, goes up significantly when we are scoring way more than we were in previous seasons, but also when we start winning World Tour races, because the 1 pros, 2 pros just aren't working. They can, but the odds are pretty low. So Bitsimana is going to Kazmangaz, which that's a World Tour team, isn't it? That's the old Astana? No, it's Continental Pro, but that's still a good place. I think that's the old Astana. But yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's a good place. Yeah, see, there's Lutsenko. So yes, That is. And Burhi, Kafala, Czech team. Kafala. Are they... Ooh, Continental. Well, that hurts. That's not going to be a good place. But you could see he's going to be arguably their biggest rider, or one of their biggest riders. He'll feature. He'll get some wins. And with a European schedule, they'll get a fair number of 1 pro, 2 pros, and maybe he'll get the occasional result and get some victories. Samir was quite happy with himself. That second place that he just took saw him level up, and he becomes our 7th rider at 4.5 stars or better. 6 of them all at 4.5 stars, but still, that's progress. In fact, it puts him 4th on the team, so it was a pretty solid level up. He's got a 76 mountain now, a 78 medium mountain, our first rider to hit such a mark. It's going to make him pretty effective under certain profiles. 74 hills, 74 time trial, could make him a GC contender at the right race. 73 acceleration gives him just enough punch to be competitive there. Also a 74 prologue, so he's balanced. 77 downhill. That stamina resistance, really the only things that are holding him back a little bit. 66 flat, likewise. But he's still nowhere near maxing out his web. So the 21-year-old's got a long ways to go yet. That's a definite step in the right direction. Meanwhile, on the free agent market, that one 5-star guy is still available, and the final 4.5-star guy is on the market, which means realistically we're looking at 2 at best that could improve. Realistically, it's not going to be that. I'm liking our position now. In fact, we've pushed up a spot to 31st, so we're 5 spots above the bubble. Looking pretty good at this point. We're still not far from the bubble, folks, but we are a couple spots higher than a year ago. We're a 10th better off, and that has been enough this year anyway to make that difference, secure that future in Continental Pro for another year, which now means that those rankings absolutely matter. So we will check in before the end of this episode on just how close we are to accomplishing our goals in the rankings. Tour of Malaysia is one sprint stage after another, which is just not our strong suit. Except there's one giant mountain stage, and it's a big one. And so I've brought a climbing team to this. We're close. Next year, maybe, well, not for the World Tour races, but for the Continental races, I'll feel more comfortable trying to tackle a sprint. But we're looking at a 21-kilometer climb at 7.3% with a max of 17.4, and that max comes in the last few kilometers. So we're looking at a big climb today up the Genting Highlands, and there's already some fatigue in the legs before we get there. And for this race, for this group, there was one thing on the calendar that's coming after this that I didn't expect to be there, so I didn't prepare properly for it. But looking at the calendar we had originally at the beginning of the year, this looked like the only key race for our climbers here at the end of the season. So this entire group has an objective for this race. And as we're late in the season, and as we had a balanced late season calendar for these guys, 5 of the 6 riders have their fitness peaks and +5 expected race day condition. 4 of those 5 are on that +5. Motoni has a -1 draw. He's got a +4. And the 5th guy, the one who matters least for today, is Josh de Villiers. And he's got a +2. He's our puncher. So today he's going to be less effective as he's only got a 60-something mountain rating. 69. So today a 72. He'll hang in there for a little bit. But I've got some quality. Also, we've actually made the list of favorites. Not just with Samuels, but with Samuels and multiple teammates. And the great news is he's second favorite. So that means the favorite team, it's up to them to set tempo. It's up to them to chase this front group. That's great. That is absolutely great for us because it's going to take the pressure off. De Villiers, I'm going to gel here real soon. 80, not quite cutting it. Let's push a little harder to hold our position. with these guys. But I'm liking my chances of being able to do something. And I think Leonardi was the favorite, was he not? Tudor's not been taking charge here, but I thought Leonardi was the favorite. So that might be the favorite who's just gone backwards. Big opportunity there. 17k still to go, though, and the final rider, the KOM leader, off the front, attacking one last time. Bernard trying to get out there. He's not winning this thing. De Villiers already on his gel, and now he's been caught going backwards. Peloton still mostly together, but we're starting to see the cracks form as riders drop off here now a bit faster, down to 65. Tempo's not quite as high at the front at the moment. 14k. For now, I don't mind because it's not hurting my key guys. Tony is struggling a little bit, though. Do I want him to protect a Shimway? Down to 60. 59. 12k. I have a feeling if I put my foot down, it would destroy the peloton very quick. But would it be just us? Or would there be 8-10 riders that hang on? 10k. There we go. First attack. Oh, it's Leonardi. He is the favorite. 81 Mountain. Big time favorite. All right, well, that's our cue, folks. That is our cue. We're going to set an 85. This is fatigue, though. This is what fatigue looks like. Follow Bitsimana. Bitsimana can go first, then Motoni. And let's see what split in the field looks like. I expect this number to not just drop by 1s and 2s, but to just blow up in a moment. Okay, we've countered his attack. Back off. Amazingly, there's still 47 here. Motoni is going to fade. Try to get Bitsimon onto the back end, and there's an acceleration from others, 6.9k. So I don't have a lot of firepower here, but we're going to have to use some of it. Motoni. One rider off the front. It's Gonzalez. Abner, is that Abner? Make that 19. Down to 19. Shimway does not have the pace to keep up. 5k. Arab's going to have to do it. Or don't follow Sanchez. I guess just ride your own pace. Countered it right away, but 2 riders lose contact and 3 riders go clear. It's going to be back together here shortly. 4k. Sit on and follow for a little bit. Gonzalez. It is Abner Gonzalez. And he's starting to pull away, so time to ride. Shimway. Gel. Looking at a top 12 plus 1, so 13 riders left in contention. Down to 10 riders, and after we've pulled it back 2.5k. Arab's going to go as fast as he can. Down to 7. He's splitting these guys off. I don't know how we get the number 1 when we are... Samuels does not have much in the tank here. Down to 5. Alberti. He's only at 75. Gonzalez. He's already attacked. And Rodriguez has already attacked. This is good for Samuels. Just got to keep the others at bay. 1k. Samuels only has enough in the tank for kind of that last little push. And it's possible that others do too. 600 meters. 400 meters. Okay, Samuels pushing. And sprinting. He's going to win. Samuels takes the win. Arab's going to just miss the podium. Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Alberti, and Arab. Top 5. Shimway. 2 others. 4 others now. 5 others. Leonardi only takes 11th. Shimway is going to get 15th. Following the final stage of the Tour of Malaysia, Samuels has held on no changes at all in the top 17. Motoni actually the only rider in the top 20 to move up at all over the course of this race, has moved into 18th position. So somebody lost time or crashed out. That was down previously in 18th. But that means we win. We claim 5th. We claim 15th and 18th. It's going to be worth plenty of extra points on top of the stage victory and stage results, with 2 riders in the top 5. Good points haul for this one. Let's check in on those rankings now. Scored well over the stretch, but the stretch wasn't a lot of big races for us. There was a lot of World Tour races, and especially La Vuelta wrapping up. So those big points come in, and it drops us further down instead of moving us further up. We are 16th. We also have a huge gap to trek in 14th. We can still catch Telephone, but we're over 100 ahead of Lotto Destiny, and we are well ahead of Truffaut now. That was the team we were battling with not long ago. So we have made some progress there. But the most important thing about our ranking and the 6,600 that we have is the direct comparison to the coming year's Continental Pro. Now, it's not locked in. It's October the 1st. But it's pretty dang close to locked in on what the Continental Pro teams will be for the coming year. I'm going to go grab a snapshot of that, and then I'm going to come back and look at how we compare to the teams that are existing now, and I'll look at the bubble either way, one up, one down, add that into what I'm looking at, and that should give us a pretty accurate prediction of where we fit into the rankings and if there's any desperate moves we need to try to make here in the last 2 weeks of the season. Off for the first time in ages, French team's at the top of the standings. French company makes a game, I guess that makes sense. B&B Telephone is third. Team Jumbo-Visma, Placasmith, Ineos. Some new sponsors coming in there. Canadian Quachua? Pepsi, DSM. It's a lot of change, more than normal. Yolo Kamate is going to be a World Tour team next year. Total Energies is going to be a World Tour team next year. So there are 2 new faces. Just off the bubble, on the bubble, is Intermarché Circus Wanty. They are the last one at risk, and they seem to have a little bit of a gap with more than just the 4 complete stars. But there's a lot of 4 complete stars right behind them that if somebody levels up in the next 2 weeks, could still technically overtake them. So Truffaut, Movistar, both looking at Continental Pro, and I know that Movistar is above us. So that's already 1. That means we are at best second. Geico, Samsic, Tudor, I know we're well above these teams that are further down. Quippo, Human Powered Health, Austria Car on the bubble the other direction. And again, looking identical almost to us, not to us quite, but to about Human Powered Health on down to off the bubble. Tartaletto. Who is it that's losing World Tour status? It's Geico and Radio Popular. Gaining Continental Pro status from Continental as things stands. Rifason, Human Powered Health, GZ Shimano, and then the current losing Continental Pro status, Tartaletto, Q36.5. That was one of the big teams we were going up against. They had a really strong rider a couple seasons ago. I don't remember who it is off the top. And Glass Drive. Dang. 2 teams we've really been racing with well. I guess their key riders got too big for them and they couldn't afford to hang on to them. First thing, Intermarché is on the bubble and they're 8th in the rankings, so they are most definitely above us. Let's hope they remain the bubble team the rest of the way and don't get bumped. Otherwise, we are in trouble there. Movistar is nearly 2,000 points ahead of us now. They are not going to be caught. And they are just off the bubble, so they are going to be Continental Pro again next season. So Movistar is, at this point, looking like the number 1 team in the Continental Pro rankings. The other team that's going down is Geico, and they're behind us. So we're about 500 points ahead of them. We're ahead of Lotto Destiny as well, but they're staying World Tour. And then Truffaut is off the bubble. So we are, as things stand, second in the future Continental Pro rankings. Truffaut just 349 points behind. Geico is 500 points behind. And those 2 are both going to be Continental Pro teams in the coming season that we've got to watch out for. Yolo Kamate, 20th, and getting promoted. I've seen that budget. How things generally work is that Movistar is likely to gain access to all races they want, and in particular, the stage races. That should open the pathway for us for the one-day classics, most likely, but we'll see. I won't know until January the 1st. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.